To me, I think it's one of the most interesting tracks to watch a race at
Yeah.
because you don't realize how steep the stands are until you're
Mhm.
actually there. And I mean, they're
Yeah.
almost straight down, and then how fast they go. They're running a lap in 16, 15 seconds, which is
Yeah.
unreal. To me, it's probably one of my most favorite racetracks. I'm glad that
Mhm.
I've been there a couple of different times and watched some races. So I'm excited for it. Like I said earlier, I think there's a couple of non-playoff drivers that I actually like to maybe end up winning this race. But if I'm going to pick one in the playoffs to watch, I think that William Byron will probably be pretty solid at Bristol. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been pretty good at the short tracks this year. So, and he's got the most wins in the series so far.
Yeah, and this is a short track that we have not seen anything like it all year round. We saw Bristol dirt, still that's dirt, not concrete. But going to this race, it's going to be under the lights, on a pretty cool mountainy night. Um, I think that these drivers have a lot to kind of think about going into this race. They have one race since the next gen car has been brought out that is similar to Bristol, and it was Bristol. They don't really have anything to base this race off of but last September, and I think this track can cause a lot of different things to happen. There could be a lot of cautions. There could be a very, very long run. There could be problems with the car like we saw last year. Tires were a big problem last year. But this race, probably my favorite to go to that I go to year round. Um, really excited for it. I think William Byron, like you said, is going to be really good. I think the Toyotas will be solid. The Fords, I think, are going to be very good this week, though. I'm not sure where I'd put Penske, but RFK, I'd expect to be really, really good this weekend. And I think Stuart Haas with Kevin Harvick could also be really, really good.
And let's not forget Chase Briscoe. He's pretty decent up there as
Yeah.
well. Very stout short track background with that number 14 team. So I think those two SHR cars would probably be the ones to watch. For me, I don't know. I'm leaning toward one of these non-playoff drivers winning this thing.
I could see it. I got a couple names in my head of playoff drivers who are good. I'm looking at the RFK cars. They were very, very good there last year. I think they'll bring some similar speed, and they're on a momentum run right now with how Chris Buescher's raced the past month and a half, month. I think both Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher, they're going to be really good. Kevin Harvick going there his last year, uh, for his last time in his career. I think he's going to be very good. Joey Logano, who's right around the cut line, he always seems to kind of sneak out and advance. He's one to watch for, I'd say. Ryan Blaney, he's been really good. He's had speed the past couple weeks, just had some pit road incidents that have kind of kept him back a couple positions from maybe getting a top five. But I think those guys right around the cutoff line, the four guys in, the four guys out, they're all going to be ones to watch. And I think all the playoff drivers are going to have a good shot this weekend. There's going to be some non-playoff guys that could show up. Bristol will even up the competition a little bit. I'm not sure that it will do as much as Kansas, because we don't have a lot to base this race off of. But I think they changed the tires that they've brought here, so it's going to be a really interesting race.
You want me to pick somebody?
I do.
You want me to go ahead and pick?
You go first.
I said it earlier. I've been very overcritical of this driver for a few months. I think Chase Elliott might win, and I know he's not a playoff driver, but there's just something about it. I've got a gut reaction. I know you've been very good the past couple of weeks. You've picked 2 winners in a row, which we haven't done that before. But yeah, I think the 9 team. I think one of those Chevys will win this race, and I think that it's Chase Elliott.
I think that's a good pick. He's really good at Bristol, and is starting to kind of look like the normal Chase Elliott we're used to. Running some solid races, having some speed on track. I think that's a really good pick. I said RFK, and I think I gotta stick with it. I like Chris Buescher, but I think it's Brad's time to get one.
Ooh.
I think he was due last year. Just caught bad luck with the tire problem. I'm gonna go with Brad Keselowski. I think he's really due for one. He's watched his driver and driver slash teammate go out and win a couple races and have some speed, and he's been there with them on speed, just hasn't been able to get into victory lane. I think he breaks a big winless streak and goes into victory lane at Bristol.